Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Nottingham Wildcats Arena. It is the WNBL Division 1 playoff final here between the City of London Academy, Southwark Pride, and Ipswich Basketball Club. John Hobbs alongside Katrin Hulme, who last season played for the Seven Oaks Suns and next season will be back at Anglia Ruskin University. Katrin, welcome. Great to have you on board. A fantastic day for women's basketball, but also, we'll touch on this a little bit later, it's the culmination of such hard work by everyone involved to get to this point. What are your thoughts on today's final?
Yeah, Absolutely. I mean, firstly, thank you for having me here today. It's an absolute honour to be here. I'm excited just to watch some live basketball, and also with the crowd here. I'm sure the players are going to be loving it. Yeah, I just think testament to the WNBL and also the teams for making it here, which in a season that really hasn't been that easy for anyone. So I think it's amazing that they're here to make the final.
Absolutely. And for you personally, yourself, you started the season with Angela Ruskin. Obviously, Angela Ruskin pulled out of the season, and that again we'll touch on a bit later on, get your experiences for that. But you were able to have a season of your own with the Sevenoaks Suns. What was that like? Oh,
I mean, yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, if you'd said to me kind of around September, October time, well, everything that was going to pan out and actually that I'd end up playing at Sevenoaks, I don't think I'd quite believed you necessarily. But it was a fantastic opportunity to play with the probably best team in the UK in terms of women's basketball. And also kind of reconnect with some players that I'd played with previously, for example, Tiani Clark. It was just fantastic and amazing learning experience for me.
Absolutely, and that's good to hear. And we are here in Nottingham, and as Katrin alluded to, the first thing you hear is the fact that we've got supporters in the house today. Of course, for the two semi-finals, there were supporters in Ipswich and in Suffolk for their semi-finals. We've got the majority of them are Ipswich fans. There are a few Suffolk fans here as well. You can see it on the screen. And this is what we like to see. This is what we've missed throughout the entire season, supporters.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously it's been amazing. Everyone's been glad to be playing, but I think it's just that extra level that you get when you have supporters of kind of like the intensity, the energy that brings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, the two teams have met each other twice already this season. Ipswich have come out on top for both of those games. The first game actually went to overtime. The second game, Ipswich won by double digits, but both of those games were really physical encounters. You know, did you get a chance to watch those games, and if so, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think with Southwark, you're always going to get like polar team. You're always going to get kind of hard-working intensity. They're right up in your grill all the time, and I think that's the kind of takeaway that I got from the two games that I've seen of them playing. And I know when they kind of run it close in terms of overtime, they really disrupted Ipswich. Really kind of got up into them, caused them to get a lot of turnovers. They got a lot of steals, and I think that's going to be a key for today as well.
Absolutely. So we are moments away from the award ceremony for the Coach of the Year and the Player of the Year. Of course, Jackson Gibbons of Cola Southwark Pride got the Coach of the Year, and Harriet Wellham got Player of the Year. So we'll be doing those awards shortly. The banner is out. We are 12 minutes away, roughly, from tip-off, and it's a great sight to see. We've said throughout that we've gotten to this stage, Katrin, and it's just marvellous to be here. And I mean, it took me a very long while to get here, mine today, but either way, you know, wouldn't have missed this for the world. And for the WNBL, this is just a fantastic advert, no matter what happens today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think credit also to the logistics in terms of the team for sorting it out and getting this ready. And it kind of feels normal, which is really lovely in a way, just to be able to kind of see things and, yeah, have the awards kind of in person and also have some people to cheer.
And supporters here today as well. You just saw a few Ipswich fans with huge blue wigs and banners and drums. It's just fantastic to see such a welcome change from the empty arenas we've been used to all season long, not just in the WNBL but in the WBBL, of course, where Katrin played for the Sevenoaks Suns. As you can see, Ipswich warming up there. And of course, a number of players on the Ipswich team will be departing this season, going on to relative areas. Of course, that's highlighted by Esther Little going to Gonzaga University in the summer. Cameron Taylor-Willis going to Eckhart College in NCAA 2. And even at home, Charlotte Redhead will be attending college just down the road, actually, here in Nottingham next year as well. So this will be Charlotte Redhead's final game before she departs for university. So there'll be a huge, swift change for Ipswich Basketball Club, an end of an era, you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's testament to the programme as well, like in terms of that they're producing such high-quality players who are going on to kind of, yeah, bigger and better things, arguably. And I think they're going to want to go out with a bang, finish their kind of careers in Ipswich on a high.
So we are waiting for the awards to be handed out right now, and then in just a few minutes we will also give you the rosters and the starting fives as well, but we'll be doing that in a little bit as both teams warming up. And for Cola Southwark Pride, a team predominantly made up of teenagers, that just basically shows the strength of what they have been doing this season, especially Biban Jakimi Pearson and also Izzy Ozzy Momadou, who has been averaging a double-double, and she's only 17 years of age. So here we go. We will hand you over to the announcer, Tahir Hajat, who will be announcing the Coach of the Year and the Player of the Year for this season's WNBL Division 1. Jackson Gibbons, now named the Coach of the Year for the WNBL Division 1. And just to prove the loyalty, the players all coming up alongside Jackson. This is lovely to see as he accepts Coach of the Year, and the players are going to be the ones handing out that award. That's so lovely to see. That's
amazing. And I think it just shows the kind of program that he's built.
Yeah.
Everyone's bought in, everyone enjoys being part of it. And yeah, I think that's brilliant.
Fantastic to see Jackson Gibbons, such a fantastic mentor of women's basketball in the capital. Coach of the Year for the WNBL Division 1 2020-2021 season. And of course, one more award to go. Harriet Wellham, leading scorer in WNBL Division 1 and leader in assists, picking up the Golden Wilson Laurel as she accepts the Player of the Year, a thoroughly deserved accolade.
Absolutely. I mean, I think when you think of Ipswich as league leaders and league winners, you think of Harriet Wellham. So I think, yeah, she's a fantastic leader, and you can't really argue with the 26 points per game that she's averaging.
Absolutely. We'll take just a few minutes, and we will be back for the start of the WNBL Division 1 final. So a warm afternoon to everyone and welcome to the Nottingham Wildcats Arena on what is a landmark day for the sport of basketball in this country. Ipswich Basketball Club and the City of London Academy Southwark Pride will compete for the final trophy of the domestic season across all the leagues. It's been a difficult WNBL Division 1 season as the curtain calls on what has been a season that's been played through a global pandemic, but despite all the challenges and all the adversity that has been put through this sport and what we have faced, whether you manage, you play, you coach, or even support a team, we've all come out of this as winners, and I think that's a safe bet to say here. John Hobbs alongside Katrin Hulme. Katrin, once again, welcome. And as we said at the top of the show, we've done so well as a community, a basketball community, to get to this point, and it's great to be here.
Absolutely. I think something, a take-home maybe from the kind of whole experience really is that there are so many people that really love basketball and really want it to succeed. And
Absolutely.
I think that's a kind of shown here today.
And let's go to the teams, starting with Ipswich Basketball Club. And again, as we said in the pre-game, it's almost the end of an era in a way for Ipswich, who will be starting with Ella Pearson, Danielle Casey, Esther Little, Harriet Wellerman, Cameron Taylor-Willis. Very experienced lineup that have been with the basketball club since the ages as young as 12 years old. And it'll be the end of an era for most, of course, highlighted by Esther Little going to Gonzaga in the summer. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think you can see it in how they play, the dynamic they have, the team kind of cohesion and things. I think it's such an important aspect of their team. So I really hope that they can capitalise on that today.
And going on to Cola Southwark Pride, the City of London Academy, a team made up predominantly of teenagers, students at the academy. Izzy Ozzy Momadou highlights that, 17 years old, averaging 13 points, 13 rebounds a game. She will start alongside Biban Jakimi Pearson. Simona Henshaw, who obviously made it to the British Team of the Year, will be touching on that in a bit. Emily Black and Emily O'Connell. So again, an experienced lineup for them, but how will they cope in this kind of environment today? They're searching for their first playoff crown since 2016, or 2017, excuse me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you say, they're a young team, but I've got to say, like, the semi-final game that they played against Loughborough, was excellent. Like, it was probably the most composed and focused I've actually seen them play for a long, long time. So actually, I think that bodes really well for them coming into this game today.
Absolutely. So we will be focusing on the other award winners as well. Of course, we had Esther Little, the Young Player of the Year, Jackson Gibbons, the Coach of the Year for Southwark Pride, and of course Harriet Welland, the Player of the Year for Ipswich. And we've said it again in the pre-game. I know I sound like a broken record saying it, but it's amazing to just have supporters behind us as well. Obviously, we show them as much as we can throughout today, but that's what really means the most to both you and me. We spoke about that just before we went on air. Having supporters here is just an absolutely amazing experience.
Supporters and the Ipswich drum is also in attendance. Has made the journey. But no, it's absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. It's been a bit of a nightmare getting to the East Midlands today, as it's bank holiday weekend and huge sporting events going on across the country. Of course, it's the playoff final in the Championship football today as Swansea play Brentford, so traffic in London has been absolute nightmare. I know Suffolk have had issues on getting here today, but we are all here. The M25 and the M1 hasn't been anyone's friend, including mine. I've been travelling from the South Coast, and it took me an age to get here. Either way, and it's nice for Tahir to Hajat to actually give us a shout out as we take the knee for Black Lives Matter. And the Cola Southwark Pride deciding to stand for Black Lives Matter, but showing their support without question as well. So here we go. Izzy Momodou and Esther Little to tip it out. And for the first time this season, I'm going to almost have to shout on commentary as we have supporters with us today. They were in attendance for both semi-finals in Ipswich and in Suffolk. Esther Little driving inside. And Welham had it tipped out of bounds by Simona Henshaw, but Ipswich will keep possession. So if I do shout at any time, Katrin, just let me know and I promise I'll stop. Welham picked off by Momodou, and here comes Southwark Pride. As Chikimi Pearson looking for options. Here is O'Connell. Black. Nice passing around the perimeter by Suffolk. Way off with the three, Chikimi Pearson. And here is Cameron Taylor-Willis. Little. Great matchup today between Little and Izzy Momodou. Three-pointer on the way is good for Taylor-Willis. So if you've just joined us on the Basketball England YouTube channel, welcome everyone. O'Connell for three, long rebound by, I think that was Pearson, and here she is on the ball, driving to the hoop, and Cola come up with it. Henshaw. Chikimi Pearson. Over the top to Black. Black looking for options. Step
nice
in,
move.
and a great move indeed by Emily Black.
Great step through there by her.
Little. Nice pass along by Casey, and whistle has gone. I could barely hear you, Katrin, with all the noise that Ipswich fans are making. There are some Suffolk fans as well in attendance, but being drowned out by that huge drum of the Ipswich supporters, as Danielle Casey will go to the foul line for two. It does make a welcome change from players hearing the sound of our voices, and now they can hear the supporters. It's probably a bit better that they hear the supporters, I guess. As Casey makes the first, averaging 13 points this season, her 7th season with Ipswich. As Casey will retake that second foul shot. And misses the second. And Izzy Momodou with the rebound. O'Connell, Black.
You can see Ipswich are already packing the paint. They're really trying to protect inside there, rather than letting people kind of drive. They're putting people in the middle to try and keep Southwark outside.
And Simona Henshaw, who was 3 for 12 from the field last week against Loughborough, gets off the mark today. Great defense by O'Connell, and Southwark Pride come up with it again. Southwark, no problem, nice shooting shot. The three. And O'Connell, who's averaging 42% from the field this season, with the shot, and a whistle has gone. A great start by Cola Southwark Pride, just taking Ipswich out of their rhythm and making that three-point shot count at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it starts on the defensive end for them. I think that's where they get their energy, and even from the tip you could see they were already pressuring, already kind of semi-double teaming, switching hard. I think that's going to be really good for them, key for them to carry on.
And if you've just joined us on the Basketball England YouTube channel, welcome. Great to see so many people watching at the moment and supporting their teams. Don't forget to get your comments in, like, share and subscribe to the BE channel. Here is Welham. Cameron Taylor-Willis, a bit of room.
Oh, nice rebound. Oh, but wasn't quite able to secure it.
So far though, great confidence shown by this young Cola Southwark Pride team. as the ball goes out of bounds, and it will stay with the Pride. Ooh. Nice pass to Lavin, and Molly Lavin into the game for the first time, gets off the mark.
She's had a great season as well with them. A real glue player, I think, for them.
Absolutely, averaging around 10.7 rebounds, predominantly off the bench this season for the Pride. But such a high shooting percentage as Izzy Ozzy-Momadou with the steal, and away again come the Pride. And Jakimi Pearson stepped out of bounds, and it will be an Ipswich ball. But so far, a young Southwark Pride team really taking the fight to Ipswich, and Ipswich, you can sense, just struggling to get into rhythm a little bit.
I think so, and it's coming from turnovers and steals from Southwark. So I think Ipswich just need to kind of settle down, look for the easy pass, move the ball between each other, and it will come.
Already 4 turnovers, make that
there's
5.
Another one.
As Ozzy-Momadou goes all the way, fouled by Little. That's 5 turnovers in just around 4 minutes for Ipswich. And coach Nick Drain, you can sense, really not happy with that, as Izzy Ozzy-Momadou will go to the foul line for 2 shots. And as we said at the top of the show, you know, such a fantastic season for this player at the line right now, Izzy Ozzy-Momadou. And so far, a really strong showing at the moment.
Absolutely. Didn't quite get that one to go, but she's had a great game so far, like just in terms of that steal at the top there. It sets a tone for the rest of the team to kind of follow as well.
Yet to get off the mark scoring-wise, but has impacted the game defensively thus far as she gets off the mark with her free throw. Little playing her final game for Ipswich here today. Casey along the baseline.
Nice help there as well.
Exactly, yeah, and Momadou again with the rebound. Here comes O'Connell.
Lovely pass.
Nice pass to Lavin. They kick it out to Jakimi Pearson, who is off with her 3. And great effort there from Momadou to keep the ball alive momentarily, but it does go out of bounds as Anna Isabel Anderson comes into the game for the first time. Emily O'Connell takes a seat. And another player who isn't afraid to shoot and will no doubt easily settle into this Ipswich zone defense that they've been playing so far. Little. And Wellham travels. And so far, this is not the Ipswich we've grown accustomed to this season, struggling at the moment, and they just need to keep their turnovers down and just settle into their own rhythm.
Absolutely. And I think also Southwark Cola, they're scoring points, and actually that means that there aren't necessarily rebounds for Ipswich to grab easily and go and run, and that's how they play, is the kind of the run and gun style. So actually on both ends of the floor, Cola are doing a great job taking them out of what they're used to.
As Ella Pearson comes out of the game and Susannah Raphiou checks in for the first time. Susannah Raphiou, such a strong player off the bench for Ipswich. Henshaw for 3. And Raphiou comes up with it. Little crossing up, going inside, puts it in, and a foul. Esther Little.
They really needed that.
And Esther Little, as said, in her final game for Ipswich, she'll move on to Gonzaga University in the summer. And a player, the young player of the year this season, Esther Little, who has been almost putting up computer game numbers, especially in the block section as well. She's averaged 4 blocks this year to go along with 10 points and 17 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, some of those rebounding numbers were getting to silly levels.
averaged nearly 20 rebounds in the WEABL with Cottleston when they were last playing a couple of years ago. Here is Taylor Willis losing the handle. Another turnover by Ipswich. And away come Southwark Pride.
Lovely patience there just to pull it out.
And another turnover this time for Cola Southwark Pride, and Ipswich get a welcome break there as Wellham has the ball. Raphael, little bit of room inside, and she makes no mistake. 4:24 remaining in the first quarter, and the Southwark Pride lead 11-9. And a turnover, nearly a turnover, but so in fact it is a turnover now as Anna Isabel Anderson, it runs off her foot and it goes out of bounds. Emily O'Connell comes back into the game, and Victoria Natufi will take a seat. Raphael. Another turnover for Ipswich. Great patience, great defense there from Anderson. Henshaw thought about the three, instead will keep her dribble alive. Jakimi Pearson, Lavin. Maybe one pass too many as Lavin tips it out of bounds, but Lavin had a little bit of room there to even turn and shoot there, but decided to pass it off as timeout is called by coach Nick Drain.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she had a little bit of space there at the free throw line, and I know that's the shot that she can knock down.
Absolutely.
So that's something that I think she needs to, next time maybe look to take that.
And while we have this break in the play, we will show you the British Team of the Year, still graphic, hopefully. Many awards have been carried out or named this week. Here is the Team of the Year first off, actually, and Isabel Izzy Ozzy Momadou, Harriet Wellham and Esther Little playing today. They're featured in the Team of the Year alongside Makana Stone of Loughborough and Satota Hines Hespinoza for the Reading Rockets. A very strong Team of the Year right there.
Absolutely, I think, and really, really well balanced in that you've got kind of everyone across the positions. You've got kind of like defensive players, and then obviously, Esther and Harriet as well from Ipswich. And
going back to the British Team of the Year, which you saw briefly momentarily, but we got cut out a little bit there. There it is, as Harriet Wellham, Esther Little, Izzy Ozzy Momadou still there, and the inclusion of Simona Henshaw in there as well. Only Katie Yanisowska of the Loughborough Riders makes it outside the top three, but a very strong British Team of the Year, and that just shows the strength and depth of the WNBL, such a strong British contingent.
Absolutely, and I think importantly as well, like they're young players, all of them, so I think that also shows the strength of the young players that are coming through. Obviously Katie, for example, I know she was playing at Leicester Riders in the WBBL for stints, and Simona Henshaw as well, like she is a really strong, dangerous player, so I think it's great that she's been included.
And next year, maybe yourself will be included in that, maybe.
Maybe. Let's hope so.
Put you on the spot just a little bit there, huh? Of course, you'll be returning to Angela Ruskin. It'd be great to see Angela Ruskin University and the Bristol Flyers return next season. Backcourt violation has been called. Don't see many of them often in that sort of predicament. But Cola Southwark Pride will get the ball back. That's 9 turnovers now for Ipswich in just the first quarter, and we still have 3 minutes 40 left.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is going to be a key to the game, because in the game where they went to overtime, I think Ipswich had something along the lines of 18 turnovers, and Cola only had kind of 7. So I think even more might be, so I think that's going to be a key. Wow.
You can barely hear yourself think, you can barely hear yourself talk, and the players can barely hear the shot clock as a shot clock violation has gone there and Cola turned the ball over. Here is Raphael. Corner 3 for Cameron Taylor-Willis.
Nice
or
save
Danielle
at the end
Casey even, excuse me. O'Connell, Jakimi Pearson saw Esther Little and decided to kick it back out. Fantastic passing around the perimeter though for Southwark Pride. Anderson. Shot clock down to 4, and a foul has been called on Esther Little. Molly Lavin using her body to get in the way of Esther Little, and the foul has been called.
They're doing a great job moving the ball quickly on the outside, which means that the zone's having to shift. And then actually when Molly gets inside, someone's maybe a little bit out of place and then actually commits the foul because they're late. So yeah, they're doing brilliantly.
But for a first quarter so far, loads of turnovers on both sides as the shot clock unexpectedly went off as Molly Lavin took that free throw. It still went in anyway. Molly Lavin splits the free throws and Esther Little comes up with the rebound. That's her first rebound of the game. Someone who averages 17 rebounds this season. Wellham. Raphieu, 8 to shoot. Cameron Taylor-Willis inside, misses the layup. It's battered around and Southwark Pride come up with it. Henshaw driving at Little, gets her own rebound and fouled again. I think again that was Esther Little. It was between Little and Raphieu.
Oh no, I think Cameron Taylor-Willis.
It's Cameron Taylor-Willis has been called for the foul.
I mean, it could have been on any one of the three, really.
Absolutely. Cameron Taylor-Willis not happy with the call, though. That's her second foul. She'll take a seat with 2:24 remaining.
That's just great aggressiveness there. Just to get the offensive rebound and go back up strong. And she's getting rewarded for it.
Absolutely. And over the leading rebounder this season, Simona Henshaw, showing great toughness to get that rebound. But that's so typical of basketball players in London. Such physical, never give up, will hustle for every loose ball. Wellham going inside. And Ozzy Momadou with the rebound. Here is Henshaw. Anderson. Ozzy Momadou. Corner three for O'Connell, and that's long. Wellham really yet to get in her stride, off the glass too strong. Wellham yet to get off the mark in 2 attempts. Anderson. Ozzy Momadou. O'Connell. Nice play from O'Connell, unlucky not to get the floater to go. Another turnover though, as Casey didn't really read where Anderson was going. And Little gets the rebound off the miss from Henshaw. Nearly entering the final minute of this first quarter as the ball goes out of bounds, and it will go to Cola. 11 turnovers though by Ipswich in this first quarter, and that really has been, unfortunately, the story of this first quarter is just some lackadaisical play by Ipswich. Even when they're getting the pass out, a Cola player just intercepts it. We've seen a lot of that already. Samuels Campbell on the ball for the first time, and here she is again. Anderson, shot clock down to 4. Anderson puts up a 3 and short, but she'll get her own rebound.
Nice.
Lots of second chance opportunities for the Southwark Pride, but they still only lead by 4. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter. Raphieu, that's beautiful from Susannah Raphieu.
She's had a great first quarter, picked up some important rebounds, being aggressive on her drives. She's done really well.
Lavin. Anderson, kick it around again. Corner 3 is long from O'Connell. And Ipswich can hold for the last shot of a really error-strewn first quarter. Here is Wellham. Corner pocket 3 on the buzzer is no good for Pearson. And that ends the first quarter of the WNBL Division 1 playoff final. And the City of London Academy Southwark Pride lead Ipswich Basketball Club 13-11 in a first quarter that as even though there's been confidence at both ends, at the same time there's been a lot of wayward passing, a lot of shots that have missed, you know, that you see them make week in, week out. Could it be a sign of nerves from both teams in a big game final?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it might be nerves, also just kind of like a journey, long journey potentially as well, particularly for Southwark, and just kind of like getting a feel for the game, and also spectators. I mean, obviously we say it's great for energy. Actually, maybe there is that little bit of pressure as well that they're feeling. So yeah, I think first quarter nerves out the way, very, very close game, all to play for, I think.
And just quickly, we will show you a highlight video of the Defensive Player of the Year. Reading Rockets is Satotas Hines Espinosa.
Again, low on the block, covered not loose by Hines Espinosa. This jump shot by Daisy Thompson. And it's Satotas Hines Espinosa on from the rescue.
Congratulations to Satotas Hines Espinosa as we start the second quarter. Defensive Player of the Year for Reading Rockets, a very well-deserved accolade for Hines Espinosa. We'll touch on that a little bit more in the next stoppage of play as Izzy Ozzy Momadou on the follow gets the two.
Great offensive rebound there.
Wellham still yet to get off the mark. And Wellham on the floor. Here is Little. Pearson, corner pocket three, long. Rebound O'Connell. Henshaw. Again, the passing around the perimeter, flawless by the Pride. Henshaw inside again. Maybe a pass too many. O'Connell short with her three. Another rebound on the offensive glass. And Ozzy Momadou over Little, banks it home. Nice pass though from Little, blocked by Izzy Ozzy Momadou at the other end. What defense by the number 14.
That's incredible, getting offensive rebound one end, scoring, and then being first back and getting the block on the other. That's great effort.
Fantastic play at both ends by Izzy Ozzy Momadou, as Danielle Casey was certain to get the layup, as Biban Jakimi Pearson will check back into the game, and Emily O'Connell will take a seat. But no doubt right now, Izzy Ozzy Momadou has come to play today.
Absolutely.
Cameron Taylor-Willis, of course, herself appearing in her final game for Ipswich this season, before she goes to Eckhart University, and a wayward pass there by Esther Little. And so far, Ipswich, we said it in the early stages of the first quarter, just struggling to get into their rhythm at the moment.
Yeah, they look rattled as well, kind of looking at each other, expecting each other to cut, so it just seems their rhythm's a little bit off. I guess, yeah, testament to the defence that Southwark are playing, because they're really getting up and not letting them settle into their rhythm.
Henshaw kicks it out to Lavin, baseline jumper long. Another offensive rebound by Suffolk. That's 6 offensive rebounds in this game so far. Either way, I think call went against Suffolk, actually. Unsure as to what that was.
Yeah, they called a jump ball.
Oh, okay, and it's a possession arrow there. And Susannah Rafuse steps on the line. It's another backcourt violation. That's the second backcourt violation already for Ipswich in this game. As we mentioned earlier, great support from Ipswich here today, but there are some Cola Southwark Pride fans in attendance here in the East Midlands as well. It's great to have them on board. It's been a nightmare journey for them, though, as there has been a shot clock violation again. Can't hear yourself think.
Yeah.
At times it's been really loud in here, but it's been a real nightmare for the fans to get here today, as there's been huge disruption on the M25 and the M1 getting here. But it's great to see them all here and supporting their teams. Rafiu turns it over, gets it back, misses the layup. Wellham gets the offensive rebound, again nearly turned over by Henshaw. Wellham, 9 to shoot, floater by Taylor Willis is long.
That was a nice cut. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get it to go, but that's what they need to keep doing more of.
Shakimi Pearson nearly travelled with it, but just about got the pass out. Ozzy Momadou, Anderson, Henshaw, partially blocked there by Little, and away come Ipswich again. Little, nice pass inside to Pearson. That's the Ipswich basketball we're used to seeing. Yep.
Getting out, running, passing ahead, and then running a layup in. That will hopefully settle them a little bit as well, give them a bit of confidence going into the next couple of minutes.
Anderson, blocked again by Little. And it will stay a Pride ball. Esther Little is arguing that fact, but the referees have blown that it will be a Pride possession. 2 blocks now for Esther Little in this game, averaging 4 blocks this season. To shoot. Henshaw going to put up a 3 and is long. And Taylor Willis with the rebound. Here is Rafiu. Inside again is Pearson, misses the layup. Rafiu gets a bit of room and backs it home.
She's really getting Ipswich ticking over. She's doing really well for them. Just need 1 or 2 other players now to step up as well.
Henshaw driving, missing the layup. Rafiu, I think there'll be a loose ball foul on Susannah Rafiu. In fact,
yeah,
it will be, yes. As Emily Black checks back into the game for the Pride. And Simona Henshaw, who's shooting just 1 for 5 from the field. Both teams actually shooting under 30% from the field, will take a seat.
I think that she's been marking Harriet, and I think has been doing a really, really good job, and is probably one of the reasons why Harriet's been struggling to get going. So although Simona maybe hasn't had an offensive threat kind of game yet, I think defensively she did a really good job.
Black long for 3 as the shot clock was winding down. Here is Wellham, who has really struggled, being double-teamed and triple-teamed at times. A foul has been called. Still only 1 team foul. That's actually the first team foul for the Cola Southwark Pride in this second quarter. So despite the scrappiness, the foul count has been kept low. Little. Risky pass, and Anderson comes up with it. Here's Lavin going strong at Little. That's beautiful from Molly Lavin. Showing no fear as she drove inside. Here is Little. Wellham for 3, knocks it down. Harriet Wellham with her first 3 of the game. In fact, that's Harriet Wellham's first points of the game. Anderson, 7 to shoot. Black for 3, that's way off. But Lavin gets the rebound and is fouled. I think that was by, it looked like Esther Little. In fact, it's on Susannah Rafiu. The Ipswich fans don't like it. as you see there, and you can see Harriet Wetham, the first player to voice her disapproval at that. From where we were, and we've got quite a close angle of where it was, it did look like all ball, but obviously the referee's seeing something that we didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to see, isn't it, when their players and arms flying everywhere. But I mean, yeah, Molly hustled, got the ball, went up strong, and sometimes calls will go your way. And I think, yeah, I mean, it was milliseconds before the shot clock went. So, yeah, it's a real good play from her, and I can see why Ipswich are obviously frustrated because they worked so hard to get the ball.
As Molly Lavin, who got a double-double of 14 points, 14 rebounds in their semi-final win over Loughborough, connects on both free throws. And something we saw in that semi-final between Cola and Loughborough throughout was the defensive intensity, and turning those turnovers into points was so prominent for Suffolk. And again, they're doing it here today against Ipswich.
Yeah, I think the thing I was impressed with as well is that it didn't let up. It was for the whole game. And I think often when teams start hard, sometimes you think kind of, oh, are they able to kind of continue that? Can they keep up the same intensity? And they did. So hopefully for us, for a good game, they'll be able to do that.
A very young team, predominantly of teenagers, Suffolk Pride. Little. Another risky pass from Esther Little. And that's testament to the defence that we've seen here from the City of London Academy. Here's Jakini Pearson. Lavin. Black, nice. Corner pocket, nails it.
That's a great shot. They were kind of daring her to take it there a little bit. Didn't come out too far. So that will have to make the zone respect the corner shot. 3
for 14 from downtown Suffolk Pride. They are struggling from downtown, but they are ahead 24-18. Timeout called by coach Nick Drain, and it's been a real great first quarter for this young Suffolk Pride team. And as we go to a timeout, we will show you the young player of the year for this season. She was awarded it, or taken pictures of before the game, but Esther Little, the clear player of the year for the youngsters.
Looking inside as well. Esther Little drives down the lane, wide open. To make sure that they respond. Esther Little gets to the rim. 2 points from Esther Little. Got there, finds Esther Little, and Esther
Little. Congratulations to Esther Little of Ipswich in her final game as an Ipswich player before she goes to Gonzaga University, a well-known, well-esteemed school in the NCAA ranks, as she averaged 10 points, 17 rebounds and 4 blocks for Ipswich, all career highs. And another player that's been with Ipswich seemingly forever as a youngster, and now will get to step up into NCAA Division 1 basketball.
It's such an exciting move for her. I mean, Gonzaga are kind of a pedigree program. They've won their conference, I think 9 years now. So I think for her it's a fantastic opportunity to get to go and play over there.
So if you've just joined us on the Basketball England YouTube channel, welcome. It's great to have you on board. John Hobbs, Katrina Hulme, keeping you company for the WNBL Division 1 playoff final, as Suffolk Pride lead Ipswich 24-18. Shot clock down to 6. Jakini Pearson, they've got to put up a 3 here. Lavin, wild attempt. And despite the great passing for the Pride, in occasions it's been one pass too many, and it's led to even more difficult shots, leading to Ipswich to settle into their defensive stance.
Absolutely. I think there's a fine line between kind of moving the ball around and then actually taking the best shot that's available that comes from that.
Little, strong off the glass, way too strong as Emily Black. Nice bounce pass, but Rafiu cleverly takes it up, and another turnover for Ipswich. The hustle from the Pride, absolutely intense, and Emily Black this time will go to the foul line. She had such a strong showing as well in the win over Loughborough. As you see the replay there, and Susannah Raphew will take a seat. 10 points, 2 steals for Black in the win over Loughborough last week.
Yeah, I really like her as a player. I think she kind of commands the team very well. She dribbles with her head up, as you saw. She's looking to pass, but she's also aggressive. I think she's really, really good for them.
And for Susannah Raphew, clearly, you can argue the best player on this Ipswich team so far in this game, sitting down on 3 fouls, 6 points, 6 rebounds for her off the bench. Southwark Pride again come up with it. Ozzy Mamadou. Corner 3 again for Black. Wellham. It's 1-on-2. Wellham off the glass. No good. I think Henshaw might have got a fingertip to it. Lavin. The floater rattles around, but no good. Taylor Willis. Little on the spin, and Esther Little will go to the foul line.
Doesn't quite drop for her. That would have been pretty impressive.
That would have been a very impressive circus shot for Esther Little. One to impress the Gonzaga
the highlight
students
reel.
and fans. Yeah, exactly, absolutely. 3 points, 4 assists, and 2 blocks for Esther Little so far.
You can see though when they're pushing the ball, kind of Esther, Cameron Taylor-Willis, and they're kind of getting there and they're being more aggressive. They are getting something at that end, be it free throws, be it a good layup look. They're not dropping for them at the moment, but they need to keep doing that.
Esther Little misses the first free throw, and by her standards, a very quiet day for her against Nottingham Trent University. Just 5 points, 9 rebounds and 2 blocks. For many people, that's great numbers, but for Esther Little, it's very quiet.
It's when you set your standards so high for yourself, then you just got to people are surprised when you're not hitting it.
Henshaw is off with her 2-point attempt. 2:23 remaining in the half. Pearson driving inside, gets her own rebound. 3-pointer for Harriet Wellham is off.
Oh, 3 of them there.
And 3 Pride players going for the same ball. Miscommunication there from both. And Nick Drain, you could see, really shouting instructions at his players. And you can tell by the way Nick Drain is composing himself, really not happy with this Ipswich team so far. Casey for 3. And Danielle Casey, who's shooting around 31% from downtown this season, misses the 3. Henshaw going at Little. It's a scramble under the basket. Lavin comes up with it. And Wellham has the loose ball. Pearson finds Wellham. Corner pocket 3 for Casey. No good. And Henshaw comes up with it. Samuels Campbell and O'Connell will just slow it down. Lavin, O'Connell, Samuels Campbell for 3, and that's short as well. Taylor Willis with the rebound. Both teams shooting under 35% from the field in this final. Well, Cameron Taylor-Willis for 3, hits the backboard only. Final minute of this second quarter. Henshaw misses the handle as she was driving at Little. 3-on-2 in favour of Cola, and Harriet Wellham will go to the foul line for 2. Of course, 7 years at Ipswich for Harriet Wellham. Back-to-back Player of the Year, but struggling so far.
Yeah, she is a little bit. I mean, and again, it's kind of when relative, isn't it, in terms of standards? I mean, so we're used to her kind of scoring kind of at will and kind of leading the team from the front. And at the moment, Cola have done a really good job of just pulled her out of her rhythm a little bit, and the whole team as a whole as well. But as we saw, she's hit a 3. She can, and she will light it up, I'm sure. But yeah, just needs to knock down these free throws, I think, and kind of settle things.
So first trip to the foul line today. She's missed the first, just 3 points on 1 for 3 shooting. Harriet Wellham, who's led this league in points and assists.
There we go.
Splits the free throws, a 79% foul shooter on the season, Harriet Wellham. Samuels Campbell wide open and is way off. And here comes Casey alone in transition. And that's the basketball we're used to seeing from Ipswich. And it's a 3-point game in the final 25 seconds of the half.
Yeah, and it came from a quick shot by Southwark. So actually, when they're moving it around, they're getting a good look. Actually, it also allows them to then get back in defence, whereas a quick shot means that Ipswich can run.
My apologies, it's actually Iberia Breaker that's into the game. She's the number 8 for Suffolk. My apologies. And incredibly, on the live stories of the live feed, I've not actually been commented on that, not been corrected. I'm amazed.
We've still got another half to go.
I know. I've done it now, haven't I, as Iberia Breaker takes a seat. And an offensive foul call. Great defense there by Anna Isabel Anderson.
Great stand. She got herself just there in time.
So just to correct you, Aaliyah Samuels-Campbell is wearing number 9 as we enter the final seconds of the half. And Iberia Breaker is wearing number 8, and that is half-time here at the Nottingham Wildcats Arena. And Cola Southwark Pride lead Ipswich Basketball Club 25-22 in a very physical, defensive-minded WNBL Division 1 final. We've even got the wrong graphic up as well, but either way, it is Cola Southwark Pride 25, Ipswich Basketball Club 22. And Katrin, it's been a very physical first half of basketball. Your views on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think in terms of obviously very, very tight game, I think it's been slightly, not necessarily marred, but I think defined by turnovers a little bit. But I think that, again, is then the kind of defensive intensity that both teams are putting on each other. I think Southwark are doing a great job in terms of taking Ipswich out of their rhythm. But then equally, we just saw Ipswich there, when they get going and they're running, they look great. So, yeah, really, really great half. But hopefully they can kind of tidy it up a little bit.
Absolutely. And before we go into a quick halftime break, we will now show you a video of the Division 1 Player of the Year, Harriet Wellham.
Ipswich will reset, 9 seconds on the shot clock, finds Harriet Wellham, who goes up, but she certainly showed why she's a threat. Quarterback pass, Harriet Wellham for the 3-pointers, she gives it up, drives into the rim, and she's looking to go close to close, gets to the rim, 2 easy points, another, she finds Harriet Wellham, who drives into the middle, puts a bit of floater, gets the get the ball off the glass and go close to close. Wellham there. A little. He's giving the ball to Harriet Wellham. Inside Danny Kidd. And that's fairly even split of scores. Harriet Wellham's able to get to the paint. Great night. Southwark can take this 3-pointer. And back to Danny Kidd. Ball reversal to Harriet Wellham. Harriet Wellham. And the rotation sort of steady 5 in the second half. Nice pass. Set for the pass, and Wellham takes it over. That's a foul, but she comes there.
Congratulations to Ipswich Basketball Club's Harriet Wellham, the WNBL Division 1 Player of the Year. We're going to take a quick break now, but we'll be back in roughly about 6 minutes' time.
What is commitment? We have commitment is very difficult to learn. Without commitment, sport is nothing. Without commitment, sport can be just recreational tool. Like if we want to have sport as educational tool, it has to be commitment.
So Slam Jam, it's a new initiative by Basketball England, targeted at 7 to 11-year-olds. It's about getting the children to have fun, to link basketball with a fun experience so that we can get lifelong involvement in the sport. And it's really focused on engagement and a fun, positive first experience. So it's not so much about the skill development side of basketball. It's really just about giving people a positive first experience of basketball. They're having fun, they're with their friends, they can develop at their own pace in their own time. So it's really developing on coordination, core strength, as well as basketball skills. So there's not necessarily basketball specific games, but they've got basketballs thrown in there. So they're working on dribbling, shooting, passing in a less structured environment than like a training session. And it's just focused on fun and getting primary school age children engaged. When they come to the first Slam Jam session, they get a t-shirt which they can keep. Each primary school they get some Slam Jam basketballs and a little goodie bag that the children can take home. And another thing, throughout the session, if we see like someone's doing really good at a certain skill or teamwork or being just nice and friendly to other people, they can get stickers. Good practice and sportsmanship as well as being good at the skills. So I think the reason this programme is different is that there's a 12-week curriculum and there's different things to work on. And obviously, as a coach, you can kind of chop and change a little bit as is appropriate for the age group that you're teaching. But it just means that everybody's getting that same fun, first positive experience. Literally, we're just trying to get them to have positive experiences with basketball so that later on they can be maybe even just a supporter of the game. Go online, get in touch with Basketball England. They can also search Slam Jam for the local centres to them that run the initiative. And they can inquire and maybe even get a coach to come in and run a 12-week session.
Semi-final by 12 points and move through to the gold medal game. They're guaranteed a medal here.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Nottingham Wildcats Arena here in the East Midlands. It's the WNBL Division 1 final between Ipswich Basketball Club and Southwark Pride. Before we start, a big shout out to our game day sponsors for NBL Live this season: Dynamic, Wilson and SportServe. John Hobbs alongside Anglia Ruskin University's Katrin Hulme last season. Of course, Katrin played with the Sevenoaks Suns as the two teams, or as Anglia Ruskin University and Bristol Flyers pulled out of the WNBL season due to the coronavirus pandemic. But it'll be great to have both of those teams back. And Katrin, it'll be nice for you to get back into the swing of things with Anglia Ruskin this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been there now, must be about 3 seasons, and obviously, as I said before, it was such an amazing experience playing with Sevenoaks, but I feel like we because our season got cut short, I feel like we have kind of unfinished business. And I know our coach Jacob, who was new in, he's got big ambitions for the programme, so I think he's keen to get started as well.
Absolutely, and speaking to Bristol Flyers is Chloe Hynett, who was a part of the WNBL Live team when we were in Worcester against Nottingham Trent. She was off record saying that she was so eager to get back, training had started, and she just can't wait for the season to restart again. I don't know if that's because she doesn't want to join me on commentary again, I don't know. But either way...
Any excuse.
Any excuse, absolutely. But as we enter the third quarter of this WNBL Division 1 final, Southwark Pride lead 25-22 over Ipswich basketball. And what do you think Coach Nick Drain has been saying to his guys, girls?
I think he's probably just said something along the lines of like stick with our game plan and do us. So I think they kind of came away a little bit from what they really kind of make their money on, their bread and butter, and maybe also just to pick up the intensity a little bit. And
for Jackson Gibbons, Coach of the Year, he's got to be satisfied with what he has seen from his team so far in the first half.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've been crashing the boards really well, getting second chance opportunities, putting Ipswich under pressure, and moving the ball really well in the zone. But I think they could also cut down on turnovers, same as Ipswich, so that might be something as well that he's just pointed out to them.
Both teams, well, Ipswich 15 turnovers and Cola with 12 turnovers so far in this game, but it's the most important thing is what's on the bottom left of the screen, and that's the score at the moment, and it's the team from the capital that lead 26-22, and Ipswich will get the ball back.
And Southwark just starting as they mean to go on, I imagine, with some more pressure.
And this is something we've seen all game, or more or less all game long. We saw it in the playoff semi-final as well. A lot of focus on Esther Little and Harriet Wellham especially. Here is Wellham. Taylor Willis backing down Ozzy Momadou, and the layup is no good.
Nice rebound there from Harriet, just to set things up again.
Nice pass from Harriet, blocked though by Henshaw. Big block by Simona Henshaw, British Team of the Year player, showing her standard there. Little looking for options. Nice backdoor cuts for Taylor Willis, but the shot clock had gone off. And a shot clock, was it a shot clock violation or a foul call?
A foul.
They have called a foul. The noise in here is so deafening, you can barely hear the whistles, you can barely hear the shot clock go off. But Cameron Taylor-Willis will go to the foul line, and we spoke about the golden generation of Ipswich Basketball Club, and Cameron Taylor-Willis, another one of those players who will be departing in the summer. A really talented young player going to NCAA Division 2 college, Eckhart.
Absolutely. I think sometimes maybe a little kind of goes under the radar, maybe a little bit, just because obviously Harriet and Esther do have those kind of stat lines. But I think she plays fantastic, and I think she's also really improved over the last season. She's putting more aggressive around the rim, and has really added that to her game. And I know in the semi-final as well, she was a really key player in terms of the backdoor cuts, which we just saw there as well.
Absolutely, 26 points when they secured the league title against Loughborough in the league. Here is Casey. Casey was fouled. Oh no, it's a travel was called, excuse me. Again, the suffocating defense of the Cola Southwark Pride coming to the fore once more. Ozzy Momadou, O'Connell.
Oh, nice play.
Shakimi Pearson short with her three. Wellham. Ipswich getting into a rhythm passing-wise. A turnaround jumper is off by Taylor Willis. O'Connell. Black. Nice passing by the Pride. Henshaw And that'll be an offensive foul. Good defense there from Danny Casey, anticipating where Henshaw was going to go.
Yeah, good stand. I mean, she nearly had the shot, to be honest. I mean, she could have taken it, and she can knock those down, but also, obviously, yeah, being aggressive. But then when you're running into two players, it's not ideal.
Susannah Raphael will check back into the game, and Ella Pearson takes a seat. Ella Pearson herself heading to an NCAA college in the summer. She's heading to Newbury. Esther Little. Wellham for three.
Great rotation there by Southwark, just to put pressure on that shot.
Black. An open Jakimi Pearson decides not to shoot the three. Here is Jakimi Pearson again for three. Scramble under the basket, and Esther Little comes up with it. That's Little's 5th rebound. Wellham. Casey for three. And rebound by Ozzy Momadou.
Nice push ahead.
Jakimi Pearson. Black. Wide open, but Jakimi Pearson will collect it. Here's Lavin. Jakimi Pearson thought about the three, instead goes for the three, and Casey gets the rebound. It is
great hustle,
and great hustle indeed by Jakimi Pearson. Black with the floater, and that's long. Wellham. Suffolk doing such a great job on getting players back, especially in transition. Ipswich with only 5 fast break points in this game. Lavin. Again, they pass it around. O'Connell for three. And Suffolk will reset. Another offensive rebound.
Yeah.
Lavin.
That's the problem when if you're packing the paint in a zone and the rebound goes long, you're going to struggle to get that.
Little with her 6th rebound. Or 7th rebound, excuse me, of this game. On the spin, nearly lost the ball. Gets it out to Casey. Casey inside to Willis. Great hustle there from Esther Little. And great find from Danielle Casey to get to Taylor Willis. Black. Jakimi Pearson. Again, they pass the ball around nicely, Suffolk. And that was beautiful team basketball. Emily Black with the two. Wellham. And a foul has been called on Molly Lavin. Excuse me, that foul's been called on Jakimi Pearson, actually, and Jakimi Pearson will take a seat.
I think she maybe kind of got a hand slap or something as she was going through there.
3 fouls now for Beebe and Jakimi Pearson. Taylor Willis. Still a 2-point game as we enter the halfway mark of this 3rd quarter.
Nice cut.
And the game is now tied on that bucket by Harriet Wellham. And now it's up to how Suffolk respond. Ayton, who's into the game for the first time. Here's Lavin. Henshaw. Ayton. And a foul has been called as Anna Isabel Anderson was driving to the hoop. Just 2 team fouls for Ipswich as we head to 4:48 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The game is tied at 28 in what has really been a low-scoring ball game thus far. Both teams not shooting the ball very well, under 28% from the field. Suffolk Pride especially shooting 19% from the field. Anderson finds Black. Ayton in acres of room, but Black goes it alone.
She had to put that one up just towards the end of the shot clock. I think she maybe didn't realise what time it was.
Oh, beautiful move from Raphael, and Ipswich have the lead at 30-28. Henshaw. Lavin misses the pass, and here comes Hulme. It's 2-on-1 though. Hulme on her own. She gets the ball back. And here comes Southwark Pride in transition. Black. Henshaw on the spin, off the glass. Great court awareness there from Susannah Henshaw.
Yeah, great patience as well, just to kind of take the contact and turn the other way.
Little. And Susannah Henshaw was involved in that, and it is her that is called for the foul. Very slowly but surely now, a number of Southwark Pride players on 3 fouls at the moment. And a timeout has been called by Nick Drain. And this is much better from Ipswich, albeit slowly but surely. They're almost playing the Pride's game of just getting to the ball in scrappy circumstances, but making it count.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've kind of found a little bit more kind of patience, and they cut down the turnovers a little bit as well. And I think also Southwark, they're not scoring as much. And as you said, like, it is a really low-scoring game actually. Just thinking about it, kind of halfway through the third and 30-30, as you said, like, shooting percentage-wise, and I think probably that's going to favour Ipswich potentially because they can turn it on.
Both teams shooting under 30% from the field. And as we mentioned earlier, Southwark Pride now shooting 20% from the field, just 10 field goals in that game. They're shooting 58% from the foul line, and for Southwark this is now some character building for this young team. They've been ahead for the majority, if not all, of this game, and now Ipswich have turned the tide. They took the lead briefly, it's now tied at 30. If you're Jackson Gibbons, what would you be telling your team?
I think kind of remember what got us in here in the first place in terms of kind of the tenacity on defence, being confident with your shot. I know there's been a few times where someone's maybe missed and they're kind of hesitating, and actually that's the shot that has to be taken. If it's in rhythm, it's in flow, because that's what your team's expecting to do. But I think, key for them is going to be trying to up that shooting percentage, because that's when they're kind of competitive in terms of the other games they've had against Ipswich.
As the ball gets turned over, and it will stay in Ipswich possession. Harriet Hulme still on just 6 points. She has 6 rebounds and an assist to go with that stat line. Raphael. Little. Backing down Ozzy Momadou. That's beautiful from Esther Little.
Getting onto her left hand as well, which I know she favours, and it's like her strong hand, that good move on her part.
Anderson, Ayton, thought about the 3, instead drives into the tee for the Ipswich D. Anderson for 3, and that's pure. Hulme, beautiful spin, but Hulme took too many steps.
Good stand there. I think it was Molly Lavin there who came to help. So that was really nice, because it kind of put pressure on Harriet to pick the ball up, and then obviously couldn't actually go anywhere with it.
And not just the Pride fans, but the players now getting behind the Southwark Pride as well. Lavin, Ayton, again thinks about the 3, but instead passes it to Lavin.
Nice. Overloading that side.
Absolutely, they do favour that corner 3, but not had great success from downtown so far. Just 4 for 24, or 4 for 25 from deep. Here is Hulme. Little. Hulme.
They're really chasing them round, aren't they?
Absolutely, and Hulme will go back to the foul line, and such as Harriet Hulme's calibre, she knew that in the first quarter her shots weren't really dropping, so now she's attacking the basket and getting to the teeth of the Pride players, and a number of Southwark Pride players now getting into foul trouble.
Yeah, I mean, she can score in any number of ways, so actually if the 3 isn't dropping, she can drive either side, she can get to the rim, she's got a nice touch, so actually, it's a really good idea on her part to try and get herself scoring in another way.
In a game that's been very defensive-minded. All the offensive purists will probably not be happy with this game thus far, but such a physical encounter, which is so typical of the WNBL. Such a competitive start as you see the Cola fans making some noise as Harriet Wellham splits her free, or makes her free throws, and the game is tied at 33 once more. Anderson. Lavin. Anderson, nice passing around the perimeter, and Jakimi Pearson's three hits the string and goes out of bounds. And of course, that was a controversial moment last week in the Ipswich Nottingham game, which we won't mention any more of.
I was just thinking whether you might mention that.
I'm not saying anything more. Anyway, Little.
Nice cut there.
Harriet Wellham, Little, 7 to shoot, Pearson for 3, that's beautiful.
She also started the play with a really nice cut, which then meant that the others behind her had some space.
And Ipswich now have the lead at 36-33. Jakimi Pearson. Ozzy Mamadou is fouled by Pearson. Ipswich bench up in arms on that one. They thought that was a clean block. And Izzy Ozzy Mamadou will go to the foul line. Harriet Wellham just, as you can see there, just saying that that was a clean block, and why was the foul called? Referee just explaining it a little bit to her. 1:33 remaining in the third. And Izzy Ozzy Mamadou, who had such an electrifying start to this game, has kind of cooled off a little bit as it's progressed. Misses the first. 12 rebounds to go with 5 points for Izzy Ozzy Mamadou. Misses both free throws. And Lavin, Lavin travels with it.
I was going to say, great putback there on her part. That was an unfortunate call.
11 offensive rebounds for Cola Southwark Pride, and there's an issue with the scoreboard now, as it's actually still running.
The clock's still going, yeah.
Yeah, the clock has now stopped at 1:11. There should be at least 1:18, 1:19 on the clock. But with the game at now 36-33, nicely poised. And again, Suffolk going into the press. And 1:20 is now back on the clock. Here is Raffiu. Nearly turned over again.
Yeah.
Here is Wellham. Step back, passes it out. Pearson for 3, puts it in. Ella Pearson from downtown.
That's back-to-back threes as well. She's really lifted her team.
And Ipswich all of a sudden lead by 6. Black to Lavin, driving at Little, and Lavin travels. That's good defense from Esther Little.
All two of them actually just stood straight up, because especially given the fouls that we've just had, just to kind of be patient and not go for the block, I think, yeah, really well done.
And the Pride now in the penalty as well, as Esther Little has the ball. Final 45 seconds of the third. Taylor Willis puts it in! Cameron Taylor Willis! And Ipswich now lead by 9, the biggest lead for them of the game.
And you can see just the energy from all of the players celebrating that. There's three threes back to back.
Lavin doesn't stop the bleeding. And Ipswich come up with it again. Final 10 seconds of this third quarter. Wellham, and they will hold for the last shot. Pearson. 3 on the way from Cameron Taylor Willis is long, and that'll end the third quarter. A strong finish to the third by Ipswich as they lead 42-33. the Southwark Pride. They take that third quarter, 20 points to 8. A strong finish from Ipswich. It's taken them a while to get going, but they have settled into a rhythm, and Cola really now have to adjust to that rhythm and try and bounce back themselves.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think arguably it kind of changed in the last maybe 2 minutes of that quarter. So it's actually, even for the first 8 minutes of that, it was still very back and forth. But there, just the three three-pointers, I think, have massively shifted things.
Absolutely, and as we come towards the final quarter of what has been a very difficult but successful basketball season across the 4 leagues that we've had such, it's been a strange experience with the lockdown and the pandemic, so many lives lost, so many people recovering from COVID, hospitalised from COVID. And Katrin, you yourself, away from the basketball court, you're a psychologist in mental health. What has it been like for you, especially as a key worker in this pandemic and in the lockdown?
I mean, it's unprecedented, I think. I mean, on the one hand, obviously, we kind of see the best in society in terms of people coming together, but in terms of the mental health element, I mean, everyone was struggling in one way, shape or form. And also from the kind of physical health side of things as well, which is kind of the area I often work in. We know obviously there are kind of backlogs now in terms of healthcare, people looking after themselves and not being able necessarily to have the usual support systems they've had. So there has been massive impact, and I think this kind of thing is amazing in a sense that it's still been going, to have for people to kind of have to cling on to a sense of normality to a certain degree. But yeah, it's not been easy at all.
Absolutely, of course, the 2019-2020 season was halted due to the coronavirus pandemic, and 2 teams in the WNBL had to pull out due to the pandemic. Of course, Anglia Ruskin and Bristol Flies, they will return next season. It's been a very strange season, but here today in this final, it's almost like we're back to normal. As you can see, there are supporters here. They have made so much noise. Me and you can barely hear ourselves talk, let alone think. And it's so great to see, and we will get more of this next season, hopefully. Yeah. No doubt about it.
Absolutely. I really hope it's just kind of like a kind of image of what's to come, in a sense, like we kind of finish this season strongly, and then actually people are kind of raring to go come September.
Absolutely. It's not a full house here at the Wildcats Arena, staggered seating only, of course, due to social distancing measures, but it's so great to see Ipswich fans travelling from Suffolk here today. And of course there are some Londoners here representing the Cola Southwark Pride, as O'Connell gets the loose ball. She steals it off Pearson. Anderson, they spread it around again. Henshaw, 7 to shoot. Henshaw with the floater off the glass, no good. And Little with the rebound. That's Esther Little's 10th rebound to go with 6 points in her final game as an Ipswich player. And again, the struggles for the City of London Academy continue from the field. It might be down to just one pass too many, I guess.
Yeah, and I think in that instance, like a great move and one that she would expect to score, it just bobbles out, and that's kind of been the story so far for Cola, which is unfortunate, but kind of is reflected in the score.
Susannah Raphew travels with it, as Ipswich, who have trailed for the majority of this game, exploded into life in the third quarter as Emily Black comes back into the game. Simona Henshaw takes a seat.
Yeah, I think she's on 3 fouls now, so maybe just giving her a little bit of a break.
Black. Again, they pass it around, but prefer to go inside. Rattles around and out as Raphew gets the rebound. Here is Wellham. Wellham's pass just a little bit wayward and asking a bit too much of Cameron Taylor-Willis, and despite the turnovers in the first half, they have done well to curb that first half turnover drought, but a turnover there for Ipswich.
Absolutely. I mean, I think they had kind of 4 or 5 turnovers in the first couple of minutes. Yeah. That was going to be a long day if that was going to continue.
They They still lead by 9. Here is Black for 3.
That corner three's there all the time. Ipswich aren't getting out to them, and they're setting a really nice screen to kind of pin the person, but they just need to try and hit them.
Taylor Willis in and out with her 3, but Raphew gets the offensive rebound, and Little slows it down. Little now driving inside, kicks it out. Wellham for 3, long. Again, the offensive rebound for Ipswich. Pearson up and under, that's beautiful. Timeout, Jackson Gibbons. And the first double-digit lead of the game for Ipswich.
Yeah, and Pearson's really come alive actually in the last kind of 10 to 12 minutes.
Absolutely.
Hitting those threes, those hustle plays there. Really good job.
That's 10 points now for Ella Pearson, a player who, like Esther Little and Cameron Taylor-Willis, appearing in her last game as an Ipswich player. She will be heading to Newbury College in the summer, has averaged 19 points, 10 rebounds for Coppleston in their last season in the WEABL. So, you know, a really strong player and one of those development players that, you know, every coach's dream. It's a glue player, and Ella Pearson typifies that.
I think so, yeah, and she, I mean, as you just saw there, kind of, she works hard, she knows her role within the team. Obviously, I think it's brilliant in terms of the WEBL team, and then also having the WNBL team. It just means that they've got that bit more time to develop, gel together. I mean, obviously, as you say, with those stats, kind of at her age group, she's doing really well.
Absolutely. As we enter 7:56 to go in the fourth quarter of what is the final domestic league game of the season. It's the WNBL Division 1 playoff final, and Ipswich Basketball Club leads the Cola Southwark Pride 44-33. If you've just joined us on the Basketball England YouTube channel, welcome everybody. Great to see so many people on board and tuning in. A number of WNBL players also tuning in today, Shanice Turner being one of them. Of course, the Worcester Wolves narrowly missing out on the playoffs, but talking to Coach Ryan Emery in the week, and they're already preparations are starting for them for next season. Number of players returning, and he tells me that they will be finishing higher than what they did last season, and they will be in the playoffs next year, which is a great statement to make for Ryan Emery and his team.
Yeah. And great also for the players who are coming back and incoming to know that there is that kind of ambition to be pushing for higher places.
They started the season so well and unfortunately dropped. Here is O'Connell for the shoot. Black for 3 as the shot clock winds down. Fighting for the ball here, and O'Connell comes up with it. Ipswich want to travel. Here is Black. Kicks it out, another corner 3. And this one is good for O'Connell. And finally, Southwark Pride get a 3-pointer. Cameron Taylor-Willis almost answers back.
Great rebound.
And another fight at the free throw line. Ozzy Momadou comes up with it. And O'Connell will slow it down.
I've been really impressed with O'Connell today. She's done a really good job leading from the front, knocking down some shots when she can. Obviously, they've been struggling a little bit, but...
Blocked by Little on the plate from Anderson. 4 to shoot. There's bodies all over the place, and the jump ball or possession arrow has been called. It will stay with the Pride as Simona Henshaw is getting ready to check back in for the Pride, and I think O'Connell will go to the sideline, and Molly Lavin will take a seat. (44-35), 6:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. Black, 1 to shoot. And Raphew comes up with a loose ball. In fact, a shot clock violation has been called. Raphew did look at the referee as if to say that we got the ball before the buzzer went off. But either way, it gives the Pride the time to just compose themselves for the next play. Raphael. Taylor Willis to Little. Raphael puts the moves on Robidoux, long with her floater. And here is Anderson. Anderson gets it back. Again, they kick it out to the corner. And another turnover for Southwark Pride. Here is Wellham.
There's another turnover just in that middle bit as well, inside the key. And that's where a lot of the turnovers are happening, because they're trying to force something inside, when actually that's where Ipswich are packing out the paint.
And they keep going to that exact same play as well, don't they? As Little has the ball, 4 to shoot. Wellham lays it up and in.
Yeah, you wonder a little bit as well whether Cola are getting a little bit tired, just because like the help side defence isn't as strong as it was before. They're not there as much in terms of like 2 to 3 players to help out.
O'Connell for 3, that's way off. But on the follow, Emily Black misses. And here comes Wellham. It's 2-on-1 in favour of Ipswich. Nice pass, and Wellham finishes off. And Jackson Gibbons has called another timeout. Ipswich now finding their rhythm, and they lead 48-35 with 5:13 remaining.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking strong. I mean, if anything, they're pulling ahead, and Cola are struggling a little bit. So I think, yeah, really good timeout call needed to try and kind of stop the flow.
Absolutely. Cola Pride shooting 20% from the field. Such a strong first half showing, and they're now just kind of falling off the rails, if you will. You mentioned tiredness, maybe slight inexperience coming into it as well.
Yeah, I think in the first half particularly, like their defence was keeping them in it, and obviously Ipswich were struggling in terms of scoring. And actually now, like, defence it's still there, but it's maybe not as good as it was. And then Ipswich are starting to score, and then actually then in terms of confidence and energy kind of goes a little bit. So yeah, I think if Jackson can kind of get them kind of riled up again, I think that'd be really good.
Absolutely, and the Coach of the Year, Jackson Gibbons, certainly showing, or his credentials are certainly being tested here, no doubt about it, with 5:13 remaining in a venue, the Nottingham Wildcats Arena, that has probably seen more basketball than any other venue this season. It's been home to, of course, the Nottingham Wildcats, the Nottingham Hoods, but also the Bradford Dragons and the Derby Trailblazers. Those two teams, the latter two teams, will return home to their respective venues next season. And already we know that the Worthing Thunder will return back to the iconic Worthing Leisure Centre next season. And Reading Rockets will hope to return to Rivermead next season for both the men and the women. So normality sort of getting there for next season.
Little glimpses of it coming back.
Absolutely.
There we go, same pin down screen.
And this time, Simona Henshaw knocks down the 3. And another nearly a turnover, they've got the ball back.
Great hustle. Diving on the ball, that's exactly what they needed.
They need to show confidence in shooting that 3, and they proved it there. Lavin.
There we go.
Henshaw puts up a 3. And it's long, but that's great offense already there from the Pride.
Yeah, they did a similar action that they've had success with. Nice pin down screen.
Little all the way. That's too easy for Esther Little.
Yeah, that's the thing for Cola. They need to pick up the offensive end, but keep doing what they've been doing on the defensive end.
Henshaw partially blocked by Pearson. Esther Little now 2 points shy of a double-double. In fact, she's 2 rebounds shy as well of a triple-double. Or assist, excuse me. She has 10 rebounds already. Wellham for 3. And that's butter.
And a defender pretty much in her face as well. Yeah, you can see Ipswich are kind of conserving a bit of energy, taking up the space, just kind of arms up and giving them that meter on the three-point line.
Lavin driving inside. Henshaw, 6 to shoot. Lavin. They're running into trouble again. 1 pass too many, and Ipswich come up with it. Little. Driving at O'Connell. Good defense there from O'Connell.
Really good defense.
Against the much taller Little. 8 to shoot. Raffiou inside, and Raffiou is fouled.
That was a good find as well from the outside in.
It was a slightly wayward pass as well by Esther Little as she acknowledges that to Harriet Wellham. And Susannah Raffiou will go to the foul line. Defensively was really strong in the semi-final win over Nottingham Trent University, but just shot 1 for 6 from the field, did Susannah Raffiou. She is been very efficient today, 4 of 6 from the field.
Yeah.
Misses the free throw there, but has been in foul trouble, so her minutes have just shrunk a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's a really great player for their team. Kind of does the hard graft stuff that maybe like you don't see, the diving on the floor, tips and things like that. And she's definitely had a massive impact. I think she's up to 9 points now, so yeah, 1 point short of a double-double.
Jakimi Pearson passes up to Henshaw, a wayward pass. Looking for Leah Samuels-Campbell, but finds nothing but the Ipswich fans. 2:52 remaining. As Lauren Maswami comes into the game for the first time, and Biban Jakimi Pearson will take a seat. Jakimi Pearson, who has struggled today from the field, 0 for 7. Wellham. Taylor Willis. Wellham for 3, and that's long, and Ozzy Momadou with the rebound. 15 rebounds now for Ozzy Momadou.
Oh, there we go, there's Raffiou again.
Raffiou again showing her defensive qualities, and possession arrow goes the way of Ipswich. Everything going the way of Ipswich with 2:25 remaining. It's been very late coming, but they have really stepped up a gear, and they lead 54-38.
Yeah, absolutely. There has been a bit of a shift. Obviously, Simona Henshaw hit that nice 3. But other than that, I feel like the flow has been very much going Ipswich's way.
Almost a tale of 2 halves, if you will, as Little finds Raffiou all the way. That's beautiful from Susannah Raffiou as she banks home the layup.
Slightly errant pass there, nicely picked up by with a nice cut.
Ozzy Momadou, double teamed by Little and Raffiou. Maswami for 3 is long, and the ball will go out of bounds, and it will go to Ipswich. And we must say just a quick mention on the YouTube comments. If you just keep the comments clean, please, and no bad-mouthing the 2 teams. These are 2 highly skilled teams playing today. As Pearson goes all the way and a foul. And you can see what that means to the Ipswich players. A number of them making their final appearance for Ipswich today. 1:36 remaining, and the gap is 20.
And finally, you can kind of see them enjoying it nearly.
Absolutely,
I feel like in the first half it was quite tense. You didn't really see many smiles. There wasn't that kind of like chemistry that you're used to seeing from them. So that's really nice to see that they're finishing on a high.
So as said before, if you could please just keep the comments on the YouTube channel nice and clean, please. These are 2 highly skilled teams competing in the biggest game of the WNBL season. They both deserve to be here. And comments that are offensive will be deleted later on. As Esther Little travels with it, and it will stay a Cola ball with 1:20 remaining. 1 minute 19 in the WNBL season. Ayton gets it back, puts up a three, and it's long. Esther Little with the loose ball. And in transition, Harriet Wellham banks it home. But what's great to see is the Cola Southwark Pride bench on their feet, cheering on their players. As a big group substitution for Ipswich will be coming in momentarily. Ayton. Egrika for three, excuse me, that's good. And substitutions coming out, and for the final time this season, Esther Little and Cameron Taylor-Willis will take a seat as Alice Fallon, Charlotte Redhead, Millie Pearson and Hannah Gray come into the game, and Saruna Gutsa also into the game for the first time today. Great to see the Ipswich bench getting the rotation and getting some minutes into this final. Charlotte Redhead on the ball right now as the game clock continues to run down. Of course, will be staying in Nottingham next season. She'll be attending university here, as you can see. The Ipswich players clapping along with the fans in attendance, but also as well, there are the fans right there. They've been in such good voice all game long. But also a big shout out as well to the Southwark Pride fans who have travelled from the capital to be here today. They're on their feet as well, as are the players, as an offensive foul has been called. And as I said at the top of the show, Katrin, Ipswich have won this game today, there's no doubt about that. 33.8 seconds to go, but with the pandemic still here, still relevant, and we've been able to get through 4 leagues this season. You know, the British basketball community have really come out on top today. Yeah,
I mean, the thing that we've had the finals across the WNBL, the BBL, the NBL leagues. I think testament to the organisations and also the teams, because it's not easy in terms of everyone has to buy into the idea. They're bubbling, have to be sensible, and I think the fact that we're here, I think is brilliant.
And as Chantel Ayton goes to the line for the first time today, 22.6 seconds remaining. It's been a long journey for the City of London Suffolk Pride, a team made of teenagers. In fact, one of the players, Beeben Chakini Pearson, was elected Vice President of the Academy academically just last September. A skilled team of players have made it this far this season, led by Izzy Ozzy Momadou. But they will come up short in the final game as the golden age of the Ipswich Basketball Club will say goodbye to their colours of blue and will be crowned WNBL Division 1 champions, as Charlotte Redhead in her final appearance will dribble it out. Ipswich Basketball Club, WNBL Division 1 playoff champions. A fantastic season for Ipswich Basketball Club. A perfect season in Division 2 back in 2018. They were denied claiming their title last season due to the coronavirus pandemic. Have come back and have won not only the league title but the playoff title as well, led by the Player of the Year, Harriet Wellham, and defensive juggernaut that is Esther Little. Harriet Wellham, who had 16 points today on 6 for 13 shooting. Esther Little, who was just 2 points shy of a triple-double, 8 points, 12 rebounds and 10 assists, to go with 4 blocks. But as said, a number of them, you can even see tears in their eyes, Katrin. They will wave goodbye to Ipswich, but they will wave goodbye with their heads held high as playoff champions, and that is what means the most to them.
Absolutely. I think, well, obviously there's the emotion of winning the playoffs, but then also for them, as you were saying, like there's that added, I guess, layer in terms of so many of the core element of the team. This is probably one of the last times they're going to be playing together for quite a while.
Absolutely.
So yeah, absolutely, you can kind of see how much it means to them.
A team that predominantly have stayed together throughout their junior careers. Of course, they won the Division 2, or swept the board in Division 2 back in 2018. The majority of those players are still playing today. They've risen up and they have won everything there is to offer this season in the WNBL Division 1. But we talk about Ipswich, they won 60-42 today, but you know, you've got to feel for the Southwark Pride, as you see right here, a team that have given so much throughout the season and have played so well, a team made up of teenagers, have finished second in this league, run or led by the coach of the year, Jackson Gibbons, and also an assistant coach and mentor in Jay Williams, who of course was the head coach for the London City Royals back in the BBL, a veteran player in his day. These guys, they've lost today, but they've absolutely nothing to be ashamed of.
No, absolutely not. I mean, they're a tough team. They play hard. They're always going to show up and give 100%, and I think that's just testament to the kind of program that Jackson's built.
Yeah.
So no, absolutely, they can hold their heads high, and I'm sure a lot of them have got bright futures ahead of them.
As the presentations will get underway in just a moment. Hopefully we'll focus a little more on, there you go, on the golden ball, not on us, the commentators, but the golden ball and, of course, the trophy, which is hidden from view a little bit, but there you go, you get to see it a little bit there as well. Ipswich 60, Cola Southwark Pride 42, and we've said it before and we'll say it again, Ipswich have dominated this season as we go to Tahira Jacks, who will be announcing the runners-up and the winners of the WNBL Division 1 playoff final. Fantastic effort by the City of London Academy Southwark Pride, who will finish this season as runners-up both in the league and in the playoffs. They have been so entertaining to watch, and the enthusiasm that they have put on the floor day in and day out, both home and away, highly commended as they go straight to the Ipswich players. It's been a tough season for all, especially during the coronavirus pandemic, but this young team, who no doubt will return stronger than ever next season, can hold their heads up high on a fantastic season. But as they receive their runners-up medals, and Jay Williams, Junior Williams, and will now pose for photos as Jackson Gibbons, the last man to get his award, will return to here for the announcement of the winners.
Crowning themselves the 2020-21 champions, it's Ipswich Basketball!
A dominant season for Ipswich. They've only lost twice in the regular season. They swept past the Thames Valley Cavaliers and narrowly defeated Nottingham Trent University in the semi-finals. They've been tested, but they have come through and they have won both the league and playoff titles. Esther Little heads to Gonzaga in the summer. Ella Pearson heads to Newbury College. Charlotte Redhead heads to Nottingham. Will stay here in the East Midlands in Nottingham Uni. And Cameron Taylor-Willis will head to Eckhart College as well. Who knows what will happen to the Ipswich team and how competitive they will be, but led by coach Nick Drain, there is no doubt that they will be amongst the front runners next season as Harriet Wellham will collect the playoff championship. Ipswich, playoff champions in the WNBL Division 1. And straight away they go to the supporters, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? We've welcomed fans back, Katrin, throughout today, and that's what it means to Ipswich, celebrating in front of their fans.
Absolutely. I mean, the fans at Ipswich, I think, are part of the programme, and that's what they've done so well there, is that everyone is involved, everyone is valued, so I think it's only fitting that they thank them with that.
And in her final game, in her swan song, it could only be Esther Little, playoff final MVP. She started quietly, but maintained her composure throughout. 8 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists and 4 blocks. Esther Little receives the golden ball, the Wilson golden ball. And the last sight of Esther Little in an Ipswich uniform before she becomes a Zag. Thoroughly deserved. Esther Little MVP, Division 1 playoff final MVP.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a way to finish for her as well.
She's been part of the programme forever. And she's been with them through thick and thin, and we wish Esther Little, as well as the Ella Pearson, Cameron Taylor-Willis and Charlotte Redhead, amongst others, who will be leaving Ipswich for university abroad and at home. As you can see what it means to them. And ladies and gentlemen, as we bring an end to the WNBL Division 1 season, if you stay on YouTube just a little longer, we will have post-game reaction from head coach Nick Drain, and we'll try and get Esther Little in there as well for a post-game interview. Just bear with us just 2 minutes and we will have post-game interviews. And we're joined by Esther Little post-game here today. Esther, congratulations. A little slow to start, but my goodness me, you picked up your rhythm, especially in the second half.
Yeah, for sure. I think we had a game plan and we knew what we needed to win the game. Our shots weren't falling in the first half, but we know if we stuck with it, they'd start falling, and we just stuck together. We had each other's backs, and that's what we do best. It's a roller coaster of emotions for you. This is your final game as an Ipswich player. Just describe what you're feeling right now before you head over to Gonzaga in the summer.
Well, right now I'm really excited, but obviously, like, I can't really thank everyone at Ipswich enough for all they've done for me for the past 8 years. I mean, they've had my back through everything, and I'm just going to miss them so much. I've got sisters for life.
Absolutely. Congratulations once more, Esther, and good luck in the summer and beyond with Gonzaga.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
And finally, we're here with head coach Nick Drain of Ipswich. Nick, welcome. I was just saying to Esther at the start, you were a little slow to get going. Cola really put some pressure on you defensively. What was the adjustments you made in the second half that got to that stage?
Well, I mean, the first thing you have to say is Cola are just incredibly hard to play against. Defensively, they're so athletic, they're so quick, they're so aggressive. It makes, for a very, very interesting proposition as a coach, because we tend to sort of roll over teams with our transition play, and they're as quick, if not quicker than us. So we had to go to plan B a little bit. What I will say is, for us in the second half, it was about rebounding, taking care of the offensive boards. We were getting killed on the offensive boards, trying to keep the, keep Issy away from the glass, even without the ball. When the ball didn't go up, we were putting bodies on her, because she's an incredible talent. And all credit to Jackson and Cola, because they are just, I mean it in the best possible way, but they are horrible to play against.
And myself and Katrin were saying this in commentary throughout. It's been fantastic to have supporters here today. Such noise that they bring. Did that bring out the best of Ipswich, especially in the third and fourth quarter?
Yeah, well, our club, our culture at our club is hugely based around this family culture where, every one of those people over there in a blue wig today does a job for the club somewhere. Most of them have got involved with COVID testing and getting us on the court. And, it was fitting that they were able to be here for not only this week, but last week as well.
It's been, I was just saying to Esther, it's been a roller coaster of emotions, not just for her, but for other players in the club, most notably Cameron Taylor-Willis and also to Ella Pearson, who'll be both heading off stateside. Charlotte Redhead will be staying here in Nottingham as well, going to uni. What does next season hold for Ipswich basketball and the future beyond?
Well, next season, I'm going to be honest, next season looks like it's going to be something of a rebuilding year in terms of, the roster. I think probably 5 of our leading 6 or 7 players won't be with us next year. Obviously you've got the girls that are going to the States. Who knows what everyone else is going to be doing. It's the right time to, give the new academy generation and the younger players at the club their chance to shine at the senior level. We are a program that hangs its hat on its development and its pathway, and the best advert for that is that players outgrow your program, which we're incredibly proud of. And what I will say about those girls moving on is that this Ipswich Basketball Club will always be their home, and anytime they want to come back, they can.
Absolutely. Congratulations once more, Coach Drain, and good luck for the next season.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Congrats. And there you have it, the end of the WNBL Division 1 season here in Nottingham, and the end of the domestic basketball season here in this country. Katrin, just some final thoughts for you on this game and the season as a whole.
Yeah, oh goodness, I mean, where to start really? I mean, the game itself, I think, was, brilliant in the sense of, I think it was very much a tale of two halves. I think obviously in the first half, Cola came out, they were really tenacious, they were really fighting for it, and obviously went in kind of, they were leading, and it was very, very close at points. And then Ipswich actually in the second half kind of found their rhythm and pulled ahead and did what they do, and very deserved winners. So I think, as you say, both teams I think can hold their heads high, as can I think everyone in the league in terms of getting us to where we are. And then just in terms of the season, I think everyone's done brilliantly to cope with all the kind of backwards and forwards. Are we playing or are we not? Kind of working within the regulations and things like that. So onwards and upwards, hopefully, to better things next season.
Absolutely. My thanks to Katrin Hulme. I'm John Hobbs. And it's the end of the season. We'll be back in September, October for the start of the new season. But congratulations, not just to Ipswich, but congratulations to every British basketball team across the four leagues: the British Basketball League, the Women's British Basketball League, the National Basketball League and the Women's National Basketball League for putting together 4 fantastic seasons. I'm John Hobbs. Good afternoon, everybody.